Well. Stanley Parable, huh? Never would have thought I'd be back here, huh? I have, but like 5 years ago. $9:22. Is there any music or anything? End is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end. Oh, I dropped. Oh my days.
Stanley.
Oh my, I dropped.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year.
How'd you...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I don't know where the meeting room is.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Oh yeah, apparently there's like something to do with the computers.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Yeah. Watch how fast I can type.
Oh,
Trophy
please.
earned, first
Are
trophy.
you really just doing this for the trophy? Click a door 5 times? Is that all you think a trophy is worth? No.
I didn't actually know what it
I
was.
can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks? Now, suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room. To get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nah, I am going to do my own thing.
I'm a savage, yeah. Classy.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
I remember this.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, but in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
I know, I'm so powerful.
You really are not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been but in his eagerness to prove, Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh, I really just want to get in all the rooms. Hello?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Room closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
No.
It's baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At
This
least
is
if there
broom
was something
closet.
to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA. Maybe to you this is
Closet.
simple. It's
Broom closet. Okay, I'll actually play now, guys.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid.
Oh, excuse
He
me.
probably only... Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I'm just gonna do everything it tells me not to do. Yo, what the hell? I don't remember this. Oh, we're getting to the underground bit. Could someone turn the heating on this house? Oh my days.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He
What the
considered the
hell?
possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense.
Can I
And
hold
as Stanley
you at
pondered
all?
this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were
Yeah,
they
it's
simply
looping. I was about to say that.
No, Stanley said to
Got,
himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm
Missed it.
dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream.
Oh,
I
no.
suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So,
Lucid
he imagined
dreams.
himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Oh,
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? The fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife
no, he has a wife.
and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been.
Yo, this is deep.
My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Is this an ending?
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear
Hey,
my
look,
voice?
8:20.
Who am I?
Ah, no.
And it's
Ah!
the story of a woman named Mariella.
Excuse me.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man
That's
who had
me.
stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal.
End is never the end. End is never the end. Is never the end. Is never the end.
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you. What? Really?
Oh,
I was
I'm
in the
so
middle of
cool.
something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Well,
Yeah.
I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful.
Bro, it seems like it'd be kind of fun to
Let me
work here,
prove
man.
that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Play, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. I don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door. All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley.
Yeah, that's
you
what I
want to know
thought.
so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well,
Yeah, I do.
don't let me stop you.
I what, buddy? Oh yeah, this is the main. No, this is
There's
not
nothing
it.
here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There
This
we
is.
go. A third option. This
Ooh.
already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Clearly there's something here that speaks to you. If I can be honest here, I really don't have any idea where I'm going with this. This whole third door thing was just a stab in the dark.
Did you- 21. Is this actually real? 21%. Seven hours? It has not been 7 hours.
Board helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors. Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I
just
nearly
wanna pick
forgot. I've got a
5.
prototype of a new game I've been working on.
Oh.
And now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some play testing. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
End is never the end. Is never the
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear
looking at
once you've
me.
been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience. You heartless bastard. I'm not even going to try. I'm out, I'm done. It's over. Thank
Oh.
you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
end is never the end. The end is never the end. End. End.
Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley?
Oh, I swear I've
What's our
seen this.
backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems
it's
obvious
The Last
to
of
me
Us.
that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower.
Oh my god. It was very laggy.
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow.
Can't see
you can just
one
go
like that.
in any... Oh, thank
Groaning,
heavens
square
we avoided
brackets.
it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find
Yeah, I'm gonna
another
say it.
game.
My PC is not
Preferably
handling this,
something
even
with
though I'm
more
on a PS4. End is never the end. The end is never the end. Rocket League.
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind.
just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
It's like literally like Rocket League. Let's get a 0 mile per hour win. Come on, come on.
Hold on, what are you doing?
Nah, if it teleports me back to the middle, I'm not playing. Oh no, thank God.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
No, I swear there was a Minecraft bit, man.
Are you
Oh
doing
my
it?
God.
Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on?
Honestly, yeah.
Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize
Where
I'm
you
not
going?
a
Where you
sportsologist,
going?
but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball. Yes! Oh goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls!
Oh!
When Stanley came to a set of
Okay, well, apparently this is... Apparently they replaced Minecraft with the games that we played. Now I'm gonna go to that lift thing and go all the way across.
investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you.
What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are
Yeah.
you that convinced? Show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
A chance.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Red door time.
Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I want it to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Excuse me.
What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes.
What on earth?
It's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. No, wait. Where are you going? Right. Where were we? If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this. Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley. No!
Oh. I actually didn't mean to.
My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You were literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly? Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
It's never the end, ba 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 ba. End is never the end. The end is never the end. The end is never the end.
To make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me,
I'm asking for her.
Excuse me.
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
My wife? Hello, Dave. You're my wife now? Ah.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Hello.
Hey, Stanley, is that you?
Oh my god.
Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go.
One sec. Willow.
Come in and tell me all about your day.
Oh.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you?
Oh, nice
I'm
one,
trying to make
mate.
a point here.
You know what? No.
Sorry, but you're in my story now. This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley. Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. That none of it would ever happen to him.
I don't care, man.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last,
Oh, it's all the
twice,
imagination.
it barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button.
What is?
And I tried again.
Please
and Stanley
die.
pushed a button.
End is never the end. Is never the end. 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 Actually, need to make a end is never the end fire beat. Is this a?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No, yeah, the whiteboard ending. So was. We need to make a beat for the end is never the end. End is never the end is never the end is never the end is never. Okay. The end is never 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 the is never the end is never the end is never the. I think I'm gonna leave the video here. Honestly, I'm gonna. Thank you guys for watching today's video.
Stanley. He
It's
was
definitely
sure
been
of it.
fun.
If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
So see ya.